So, welcome again to my channel. So, today we're gonna have to answer again. We will use the Chat GPT as the quiz master related to test of control. So, again, this is related to my lecture videos related to internal controls and transaction cycles. Okay, so those are the two main topics that you need to master in order to answer multiple choice questions. So right now we will make again the chat GPT as the quiz master. So this is the command that I'm going to use. Give me multiple choice questions related to test of internal controls and related test of internal controls related to transaction, business transaction cycles. Give it to me one by one and I'll answer. And before going to the next question, you have to tell me if I'm right or wrong and explain. Give me challenging questions. At least 30 questions. Now I'm going to send this, and that my goal for this one is to let you see how to answer multiple choice questions and my process of answering those questions. Okay? Let's go. Question 1. Which of the following is the primary objective of testing internal controls related to business transaction cycles? Number 1, to detect and correct all errors in the financial statements. You cannot detect or correct all errors in the financial statements even if you have an almost perfect internal controls and an almost perfect transaction processing. Okay? So to assess the operating effectiveness of controls over significant transactions, it could be letter B, but then again, I'll have to read everything, every choice. To identify all fraudulent activities within the organization, you cannot identify all. To ensure the accuracy of all financial transactions recorded in the ledger. So this is very specific, and again, you cannot ensure the accuracy of all financial transactions even if you have a near perfect or a perfect internal control based on your opinion and perfect process. Okay? So the answer for this one, I guess, is letter B. So that's question number 1. I don't know if I'm correct. Correct. So I'm correct. Question number 2. Which of the following would be considered a key control activity for the sales transaction cycle? Segregation of duties between inventory management and sales invoicing. I'm not sure about this. I guess inventory management, sales invoicing. This is an accounting, the sales invoicing is an accounting related chore or job. Inventory management is on the warehouse man. I don't know if that is a key control activity. Let's go to the next multiple choice. Monthly reconciliation of the sales ledger with cash receipts. Maybe. The sales ledger versus the cash collections. Authorization of sales returns by the accounting department. This is not a key control activity. The authorization of sales should not be on the accounting department. The accounting department is mainly focused on recording. So this is not the correct answer. Performance reviews of the sales department employees. Performance reviews of the sales disbursement. Sales department employees. No, I guess this is part of the marketing aspect. So we have sales transaction cycle. So that means it's process oriented. So it's not C, it's not D. It could be B. Yeah, it could be B. Yeah, it could be B. I'm not sure if I'm correct, but it's 50-50, A or B. Incorrect. So the correct answer is A. Segregation of duties between inventory management and sales invoicing is a key preventive control. It ensures that no single person can both initiate and complete a transaction without oversight, reducing the risk of errors or fraud. Actually, I agree with this one. So the ones that will have the inventory management should be a separate person from the sales invoicing, which is the accounting department. Yeah, yeah. So supposedly that is not merged into one person or one department. Okay, okay. Of course. Now let's go to question number 3. In the purchase transaction cycle, which of the following is an example of an internal control designed to prevent unauthorized purchases? So every purchase should be authorized. So automated matching of purchase orders with receiving reports. Yeah, yeah, but this does not involve authorization. This is on the payment already, determining the payment. The authorization of purchases comes before this stage, letter A. Periodic inventory counts by an independent department. Yeah, but it does not still include the unauthorized purchases. It is not related to authorization of purchases. Requiring purchase orders to be authorized by a manager. Yeah, this is it. Letter C. However, let's read also letter D. Vendor invoices reviewed and approved before payment. Again, the authorization of purchases comes before this letter D. Vendor invoices reviewed and approved before payment. This is on the payment already. So we have letter C. Yeah, of course. So you have to look at the question really, understand it, so that you'll be able to get the main point of the question. And if it is not related to the question, you have to ignore the multiple choice. Okay? So which control procedure is most effective in ensuring that payroll disbursements are made only for work performed by valid employees? So valid employees, that means they are still in the company. Invalid employees are those employees that are out already of the company or something like that. So that's what I am thinking right now. So letter A, requiring the human resources department to approve all overtime. Yeah. Work performed by valid employees. Okay. It could be letter A, because maybe some of the overtimes, if it will not be approved by the human resources department, it will not be a valid work performed. Reconciling the payroll bank account monthly. Now this is just a reconciliation of what? Of the disbursements from the payroll bank account actually. So it does not relate to the question. The payroll disbursements are only made for work performed by valid employees. So this is more on proper authorization and proper computation. Letter C, segregation of duties between payroll preparation and payroll distribution. No. Maybe the payroll preparation should be left in one party and the payroll distribution is left to another party. It might be because the payroll preparation, you could include some employees that are already out of the company. And then since you are also assigned to payroll distribution, you're gonna get that money and you will have some signature. This is the best one. Using a time clock or other electronic attendance system to track hours worked. This ensures that the payroll disbursements are made only for the work performed by valid employees. Valid employees, it is because if you are not a valid employee already, you will not be able to use the time clock. And also, work performed could be captured by the time clock or electronic attendance system. I will have to choose the... Oh no. Oh no. Correct. Using a time clock or other electronic attendance system is an effective internal control to ensure the payroll disbursements are only made for... Yeah, I'm correct. Which of the following is an example of a detective control in revenue cycle? Detective, so used for detection. Segregation of duties between billing and cash collections. Actually, segregation of duties is more of a prevention aspect of internal control activity. So, the question is detective control. Daily review of sales orders that have not been billed. It could be the review of sales orders that have not been billed, requiring manager approval for credit sales over a certain limit. This is a preventive measure also, in which the manager approves for credit sales and takes a look at the credit limits of the customers. Matching customer payment details with corresponding sales invoices. This is actually a detection, a detective control in the revenue cycle. So we only have B or D. Actually, sales orders, sometimes it should not be billed because it's still a sales order. Sales order, that means it has not, the goods are not yet shipped to the customer. I'll choose D. Yeah. In order, this letter D is a detective control in order to know if the customer payment corresponds with the sales invoice. Yeah, I'll have letter D. Yeah, I'm correct. Question number 6. In the procurement cycle, which control is designed to ensure that the goods and services received are consistent with what was ordered? So in here, our point of view is the purchaser, requiring that all payments to suppliers be approved by the purchasing department, periodically rotating the duties of purchasing agents. No, this letter B is not really related to the question at all. Matching the receiving report with purchase order and vendor invoice before payment. This is good. This is what I mentioned in the lecture. Using pre-numbered purchase orders to track purchases. I guess that's letter C. Matching, yeah, I'm correct. Let's go to number 7. Which of the following controls would most effectively ensure the accuracy of information entered into the general ledger during the financial reporting cycle? Which of the following controls? So the question is a control that will ensure accuracy of information entered in the general ledger. Okay. So monthly review of account balances by senior management. It is somewhat far from the question. Reconciliation of sub-ledger balances with the general ledger. This is much more like it. This is very much related to the question. Restricting access to the general ledger to to authorized personnel. This does not address the accuracy, which is the question. This is related to authorization to access general ledger. Use of pre-numbered source documents for all financial transactions. Yeah, but it is not related to number 7. I would say subsidiary, sub-ledger balances with the general ledger. Yeah, I'm correct again. Let's go to question number 8. Which of the following would be a key control to ensure that cash receipts are properly recorded in the cash receipt cycle? So they are properly recorded. Performing monthly bank reconciliations. Maybe. Maybe. Because in the monthly bank reconciliations, you have to compare the cash recorded in our books versus the bank. So cash receipts is one of the key components of bank reconciliation, like deposit in transit and etc. Restricting access to the cash register. This is not related to the properly recording of cash. So not letter B. Matching deposit slips with daily cash receipts. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Authorizing all refunds by the accounts receivable department. It's not related. So B and D is eliminated from my choices. Which is cash receipts, right? So letter A is a little bit general because bank reconciliation does not only include cash receipts, it also includes cash disbursements of the company. So I'll go with letter C because it's much more related to the question. C. I might be wrong. Yeah. Let's go to question number 9. In the sales cycle, which control would best prevent the risk of shipping goods to customers who have not been properly approved for credit? Of course, you go to the credit department, but let's have the multiple choices. Letter A, daily reconciliation of shipping documents with sales orders. Could be. Implementing automated credit checks before approving sales orders. This is the ones that I told you. So basically, this is my answer, but let's read the other multiple choice questions, and you have to remember, you have to read all the multiple choice questions. Requiring sales managers to approve all large sales transactions. This is not related to the question. This is the approval. This is approval related. Okay? Yeah, the question is also related to approval, but the question is related to shipping goods to customers wrongly because it has not been properly approved. Yeah. Requiring sales managers to approve all large sales transactions could be, but this is only for large sales transaction. Letter B is much more appropriate, but letter C can also be the answer. Segregation of duties between sales order entry and shipping. It doesn't matter even if there is a segregation of duties on sales order entry and shipping. It doesn't matter with the question because what we are preventing is the risk of shipping goods to customers who were not appropriately approved for credit. So my answer is still letter B. Yeah, I'm correct. Let's have question number 10. And let's add 5 more. So I'm only up to question number 15 because I guess you have already understood. Ayun, no. You've hit the free plan limit of GPT-40. Okay. So let's have number 10. I guess this last question. From 1 to 10, you already know the process on how to answer multiple choice questions. The first one, you need to really understand literally the question so that you can eliminate those that are unrelated already to the question. Eliminate the multiple choices. Okay? And then read all the multiple choice questions even if you have already selected letter B or letter A, for example, so that you'll be sure that that is the best answer. Okay? So which of the following internal controls helps ensure that recorded purchases are valid and authorized? Okay. Periodic physical inventory counts. It does not relate to the question. Requiring approval of purchase requisitions by department heads. Much more directly related to the question, the letter B. Restricting access to the purchasing system to authorized users. Huh? Yeah, it could be because This is authorization, but it is very far from the question. The question is related to internal controls that helps ensure that the recorded purchases are valid and authorized. Yeah. Reviewing vendor statements for discrepancies. Why? Okay, so this is just for payment. Recorded purchases are valid and authorized. Okay. Letter C could be letter B or C. That is my choice. Uh, However, as to the recorded purchases are valid, that could be either B or C. The recorded purchases are valid. But as to recorded purchases are authorized, this letter C does not relate to the authorization of purchases, restricting access to purchasing system to authorized users only. No, it's much more B, because B also addresses the authorization of the recorded purchases. So my answer is letter B. Yeah, yeah, I'm correct. So that's it. I guess you already have an idea on how to answer multiple choice questions related to transaction cycles and internal controls. So good luck if ever you have some exams related to, again, internal controls and transaction cycles. So see you on the next episode, and like like click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and share this video to all your classmates or to all the persons who wanted to design their own processes with strong internal control. Good day.